right, this is Ben Dragon's Daily Downloads. Today we're talking about the archetypes of masculinity. Now, this wheel here is very special. It depicts all the archetypes of masculinity, all the different subgroupings, like what type of job would correlate with which archetype. And this is the only map like this I have ever seen in the world. No one has done such a profound job piecing together all the archetypes of masculinity and then tracing them back to their core values that I have ever seen. Only place you can get a map like this would be from Captain Yoan Golder, my friend and wildlife extraordinaire. He lives off the grid in the Santa Cruz Mountains. I'll link his email in the description if you're interested in getting one of these maps. But yeah, I'm just going to break down all the archetypes. So at the top, you have the king, the self, judge, the ruler, the leader. Now, generally you wouldn't start in that position as a wee lad, but I'm just going to take you through the story of masculinity. So you have the king, right? He's controlling everything. He's like the hub that all the energy is traveling through. The main conductor. As the king ages, he accumulates a lot of wisdom. He becomes the wise man, the prophet, the philosopher. He starts developing more of a philosophy about life. Becomes more of a teacher, mentor. As you naturally age, you become more interested about what's on the other side. Death, spirituality, philosophy, religion, things like that. That can lead into becoming interested in magic, the magician. Now, if you're dabbling in magic, it can be healing, doctor, carpenter, mechanic. As you become more of a builder, as you become more into the practical aspect of it, the alchemy of it, turns into building things, right? Building things, you have a crew, lumber, machinist, engineer, programmer, craftsman, things like that. Then, obviously, you have to go out and scavenge for materials. You want to get new ideas of things to build, right? So then you become an explorer. You explore the land, seeing how other men have constructed their civilizations or their projects, whatever you're into, right? As you're exploring, you're naturally going to run into all sort of things that take your breath away, right? Capture your attention. This is more so the fool energy, right? Like turning a new leaf in life, exploring. Can lead into things like entertainment. Here you have the bard archetype, band, music, performer, singer, poet, dancer, things like that. Sex would be the next thing that leads into, because great performers tend to attract women. Sex, lover. So you attract your woman, then guess what? You have kids, get settled down with the wife. Now you become the husband, the father. You have to provide for your kids as you're a father, right? So what do you become then? You become the hunter, hunting for resources, right? You've got to go out and get the bag or get the resources in whatever society you find yourself in order to secure your family, right? Now, as you're working on your hunting skills, it's naturally going to, let's see, what do we have? Rancher. Yeah, I mean, you can get into things like farming too over here. But you have to provide for your family first, and then you have to protect your family, right? The warrior archetype, protecting what you love. That can lead into things like soldiers or being a troop, or he says even an inspector or a packer, or a watchman, security personnel, things like that. A defender, a protector, right? And then they deploy men like this in wars between countries, obviously, but locally, it would manifest more so things like police officers or security or things like that. Or just, being a dad, looking after your kids, protecting your family. Obviously the ancient correlation would be, just using a spear and protecting your family from the lion. Now, you become a great warrior, you will naturally be revered in your society. You'll become the chief or the hero. Then you're going to start gaining political status. You're going to start rising in the ranks. Modern day, this would be things like the mayor, the spokesman, a debater, a lawyer, possibly a detective, a captain, even a lord, chief. Kind of the same thing, just a chief and a lord, depending on what kind of society you're in. And Finally, the highest pinnacle of that would be the king, or like presidential status right there under it, or mayor, depending on what level you're ruling. And that just takes you back to the beginning. The king, the ruler, the self, the supervisor, the foreman, the planner, right? So we came full circle. Now, what's important to note is the values he's identified in the middle of the chart. So so on the outside, obviously, it's in reference to the actual physical job being performed. But as you go inwards, it's more so ideological, or the virtue behind that job. So interestingly, when you go all the way to the source, which he says is God or love, God being unconditional love, the sacred source, he identified three key virtues that identify the sacred masculine, that being sharing, growing, and giving. I'll say that again. Sharing, growing, and giving are the key virtues of sacred masculinity. Here he identifies the shadow roles, basically what it's like to be on the negative polarity of masculinity. Wrong behavior he identifies as jerks and turkeys, or put more bluntly, victims and wimps. I guess victims and wimps are like turkeys, and then jerks are on the other end of that. So it's kind of like a bully nerd sort of scenario. The abuse of power or getting abused would be the shadow aspect of masculinity when it's not in balance. Now, when it is balanced, it's about growing, giving, and sharing. You know, love, energy, resources, ideas, all that. That's how you build a society, is men working together with a common goal. The center, beliefs, inner source, and power. And then qualities and values, right behavior, he identifies heroes and saints. So that's like the highest pinnacle of divine masculine, is saving something precious, or becoming some sort of holy man, right? Like having direct access to source energy or God with which to lead or heal or inspire others. So there you have it. There is the Wheel of Masculinity by Young Golder, Wildlife Extraordinaire. Stay tuned, guys. Subscribe to my channel. And have a sublime good day. Tap into your divine masculine, all right? I'm sure you fall into one of these categories. You probably switch it up as you progress throughout life. That's just a natural part of the cycle. But right behavior, just being growing, giving, and sharing, those are your motivations. And wrong behavior, being bullying or allowing yourself to be bullied. So we want to stay balanced, grow, give, and share. I love you all. Stay masculine, stay strong. We need you out there. Thank you. The women need you. The kids need you. Everyone needs more strong male role models in society. I really feel that we need more strong male role models in society, because the ones social media are pushing these days are just whack. Like, people you shouldn't be following, people that are overly materialistic or using their masculinity just to rack up a bunch of fame, clout, or material resources, or just bag a lot of women. It's not, there's a lack of healthy male role models in society, and I believe that's one of the key reasons society is collapsing, at least in the Western countries right now. So it really comes down to the men stepping up their game, growing, giving, sharing, and working together to maintain a harmonious environment, providing the backbone structure of society for everyone. So there you have it. Subscribe and like the video.